are now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Let's get it.
What?
At Tanagra, when the walls fell, this is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. Opening up a can of Sprite. Did Sprite used to have orange on the logo? Was it always only yellow and green?
Well, I feel like maybe you're thinking Mellow Yellow.
Maybe I'm thinking, does Mellow Yellow have orange?
I think it's more of a citrusy. I think.
Yeah.
It'd be orange. This is lemon lime.
I feel like
I don't think orange would be on here.
Yeah.
Now red was on 7-Up with the cherries.
Did they have red on Sprite? Was there red on the
red was
Sprite?
7-Up.
There used to be blue.
Was there blue?
and yellow.
Yes, there was 100% blue.
Yeah, blue and yellow used to be on Sprite.
Okay. What was this? What did the Sprite can look like when we were kids? I feel like the green was darker. Or maybe that's what it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's like a deeper, darker green.
I think you're right.
We're in the Daffy Downs studios, as always, unless you want to pay us more than Daffy Downs paying us, and then it's the whatever you want it to be studio. It could be the Sprite studio. It could be the Summer's Eve studio. It could be whatever you want it to be. Preston is here. He is the czar of information. Jesse is absent.
Again.
It was not a no-call, no-show, but it was a late call-in. We didn't have time. So we're down one.
Because we could have replaced him.
Yeah, we're down.
Well, basically, with anybody.
Yeah, it's hard to do the show without our head fry cook. You know,
We would need two people to replace him.
Mm-hmm. That's true for so many reasons. And Stella is on the ones and zeros. She's the one that we really can't replace. If Jesse calls off, it's like we'll be fine. If Stella called off, we'd be in big trouble.
We'll just cancel the show.
There's no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. So, but we're here and we're doing a show. How you doing today, Jason?
Good. You want to warm up on some giblets?
Yeah, Giblets is our best friend. I feel like Giblets thinks about the show more than I do.
I'm sure that he does.
I think if it wasn't for him, the show probably would have ended months ago. He is providing probably 80% of our material.
Now, what's funny is that's true.
Yeah.
And what's also funny is he writes things, because I don't think he's a long-term, like maybe in the last 6 months is when he started listening.
Sure.
He's writing stuff that's like, we've already covered that.
But
We'll do it again.
we'll do it again. We're not
Okay.
above
No.
repeating.
Come on.
Jerry Seinfeld will work on a stand-up routine and do it at the same city every night for a year straight.
I do think it would be funny if someone took the show super serious. We do a lot of Mount Rushmores. It's like, let's say we did the Mount Rushmore of cheese, which I believe we've done before.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, we do it again, and someone's really upset because, like, no, that's not what you said before.
I believe, Jason, there will come a day. I'm like the Martin Luther King Jr. of this show.
You're going to get shot.
I believe. Yes. I believe that there will come a day when there will be a Lauerpedia. That someone will do the work and they'll create a Lauerpedia.
Someone.
Where they'll go back and listen to all the episodes. They'll catalog.
Archive everything.
Every episode will have its own page and the details on every page.
Yeah.
And that'll be fabulous when it happens. Maybe it'll be Giblets, you know? Maybe.
Maybe. I
Maybe
don't know.
not. But either way, we appreciate what he's given us now. So what does Giblets got?
So you got two things.
Yeah.
The first one, Mount Rushmore of bucket list items. Now, I think we've discussed bucket list items before, but I don't think we've ever done a Mount Rushmore. And I think this should be a collective Mount Rushmore, not individual.
So like Lauer Radio show bucket list?
No, just people.
I feel like we can do that.
Okay. Well, we'll do that. Because here's the thing. I don't ever care to skydive, but that's on a lot of people's bucket list.
Oh, I see. The Mount Rushmore of bucket list things, not necessarily ours, but just generic. Yes. Okay. I'm picking up what you're throwing
So like
down.
skydiving,
I guess.
I don't ever care to skydive.
I feel like a lot of people want to see the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
That seems to be a big bucket list item. Like, I just want to see the Grand Canyon. I don't get it.
The Seven Wonders. Was it the Grand Canyon?
Yep.
Hey,
And
look
then
up Seven Wonders.
It's the Grand Canyon. It's the
Niagara Falls?
the Great Wall of China. It's the pyramids.
Niagara Falls,
it's
maybe?
Niagara Falls.
What else
is
is it? The Nile.
The world's biggest ball of yarn.
Oh, that's in Kansas.
It's in Kansas. It is. I don't
Mahal.
know. Taj
Taj
Mahal.
Mahal, yeah.
I'm not interested in the Taj Mahal.
Honestly, everything you've said has been on this list.
Yeah, I know
so
my seven.
what-
I know my wonders.
I wonder sometimes. But
Not all who wander are lost.
so we're saying
J.R.R. Tolkien. What? He's the one that said that. People put it on the back of their Jeep. I'm like, do you even know what that's from?
No, they don't.
They don't know what it's from.
No. I would have said Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it feels Willy Wonka-ish,
I
but,
know what
but
it
it
was.
ain't. So you
Bucket
see
list items.
skydiving?
Well, I don't look at. Okay, so here's the thing with the skydiving. I don't ever want to skydive with a dude strapped to my back.
No, I
Okay?
agree.
Now, if I ever skydive, I'm doing it alone.
Yeah.
And I don't care if like they're afraid I'm going to pass out.
I have
or I've
a
never
friend
done it before.
who was a paratrooper.
Yeah. Oh,
He-
you know what? I think Giblets was a former paratrooper.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this guy was a paratrooper. He went overseas.
I wonder if they know each other.
They might. There's only like 5 of them left. This guy went overseas, did stuff in Iraq and Afghanistan,
Yeah.
and then came back. He was on a training mission in America. He said the guy in front of him
Yeah.
was new. And he said the way that you go is like everybody goes out, boom, boom, boom. And if one guy hesitates, it screws everything up.
Yeah.
And that guy like stopped and he kicked the guy out of
Oh, my gosh.
the door. And then, but in the process, the guy like grabbed him or something, and then he fell out, and it messed up his parachute.
Oh, my gosh.
So he had to go to his reserve parachute, and his reserve parachute, nothing, didn't go
Oh.
out. Dude flat out hit the ground.
Oh.
Just hit the ground, and survived.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. So
Because his first one was probably still
his first one
resistance.
was yes, something was no. I mean, he said that they were all everything was gone. It was
So he just hit the ground,
He said he just
jumping from an
grabbed
airplane
his.
and he lived?
said whatever his backpack thing was. He said he just grabbed it and just thought, well, that'll hit the ground first. And,
Oh.
you know, that's how he did it. Yeah, just splat. He's a tough dude.
I think maybe if you're falling and you stood on your backpack at the last minute, you jump off the backpack.
The science totally works there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you
absolutely.
just like it'd be like just.
I would
jumping.
always take my shirt off. That's what I would think, and then tie up the arms. You know what I mean?
And just-
then hold it like that.
Yeah, yeah. You could
Right?
probably do it with your pants, like tie each leg hole.
You gotta tie the leg holes.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
and then you hold it
That's
by
what most people
the
don't
belt
know
loops.
is you got to tie the leg holes.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
hope
even
there's
if
not a
you-
hole in your pocket.
If you didn't tie the leg holes, it would provide.
It would give some
resistance.
drag,
Yeah.
but what you really want, you got to tie up those leg holes, Jason. if I could get across anything to the people listening
So
today,
should I tie up both or just one?
I'd tie them both up
Okay.
if you got the time.
Individually
Depends
or
on how
together?
fast the ground's coming. Individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you want two legs flying.
Yeah,
flapping
and you want to
in the
get your hands into the loops because the resistance is more than
Yeah.
you think, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and that's depressing. And then you're onto your underwear, and unless it's boxers that are pretty long, it's hard to tie that thing up. You know.
Yeah.
So Jesse's boxers, you'd be doing just fine. And that's
I don't know. You might
that's
be dealing
standard
with some stuff
issue.
in
He
there.
buys his boxers from a military store.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, Army surplus.
they are old, former parachutes. That's what he's working with.
So, some people have parachute pants. He has parachute underwear.
Yeah. Just in case people thought, we only make fun of him when he's here, and it's
Oh,
like
no.
good-natured ribbing. No.
Behind his back too.
No, behind his back, in front of him, when he's here, when he's not here, when he's walking away. It's just he's fun to make fun of.
I'm pretty sure he lends them out to the elementary schools, with those parachutes.
Oh yeah,
I'm
the
pretty
kids
sure-
play
yeah,
with
he
that.
lends them
Yeah,
out,
that's true. The streaks are a problem. So why are we talking
The
about?
bucket list.
Oh, jumping out of an airplane.
Listen,
yeah,
it's
that's
not for me.
but you
not
feel
that
like
I'm
it's a s-
afraid. I just don't want to do it. It's not fear-based. I just think it's dumb.
Well, listen, not everything. It doesn't have to be necessarily fear. It can just there's like a logic to it. There's a cost. What's the word I'm looking? Analysis.
Yeah.
A cost benefit analysis, basically that you do. I
Yeah.
think that's the word. But and it's like, what's the best thing that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I jumped out of a plane and I could talk about it, and
It's a good
that's
story.
Best case scenario, I land and it's like I'm done, and whatever. Worst case scenario, I plummet to my death. So that cost, whatever benefit analysis, whatever that is it doesn't work for me. Like
I think the worst than death, I think, would be paralyzed from like the neck down.
You think so?
Yeah, you're just stuck in a bed for the next 50
People
years.
are feeding you.
Yeah,
and you're like
you can't do anything,
and you can give them guilt trips. You're like, I only want ice cream. I deserve it. I fell out of a plane.
cream I like.
I served my country. They're like, no, sir, you didn't. You just signed up for a rather sketchy airplane service.
They weren't even certified.
I served my country. I voted. That's how I would sound.
I
if
ran
was.
for office.
So that's what I would do. Okay, we can say parachuting if you want.
Skydiving.
Skydiving
is what it's called.
Okay.
I think. But listen, it's not for me. I'm just, and it's not because I'm afraid.
Sure.
I just don't want to do it.
Okay.
And so visiting Seven Wonders.
Visiting the Seven
Various,
Wonders.
Yeah, various. Maybe all
So
or
we say
some.
sightseeing.
Okay. International sightseeing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What else?
Like
Ride an elephant.
oh, okay. Well,
Something like that.
an adventure. Swim with the dolphins.
Swim with the dolphins. That's a
Yeah.
pretty good one. People want to. I don't want to swim with dolphins. Once again, cost benefit analysis. Dolphins will kill you.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
They're vicious. They're mean.
They bump into you hardcore. I've swam with dolphins. They bump into you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could kill you like that.
Well, they kill sharks,
And it would-
right?
Yeah.
In their day, they would be just fine. It wouldn't bother them at all. The rest of their day would be, there would be no guilt
They're not
associated
thinking
with
twice.
it. Yeah, as they're falling asleep at night on their pillow, they wouldn't be thinking, should I have killed that geeky podcaster guy? Should I don't know. Maybe they don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother them.
Well, it's for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fish.
They've already-
Again.
Why is it always the fish?
Can I just have bacon? So we'll say skydiving,
Yeah.
sightseeing,
Yeah.
swimming with dolphins,
Yeah.
and meeting Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah. Celebrity. Yeah. Celebrity encounter. So either Donald Trump or Joe Biden
Those are your two options.
or The Rock. Of the three, who would you rather meet? Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or The Rock?
That's a good question. I'd love to meet all of them.
Yeah. I'm going to go Donald J. Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
How long do I get with them? Is it a
half an hour
handshake and a
lunch.
selfie? Oh, half an hour lunch. Just
Yeah.
the two of us, or
Just
there
the
more
two
people?
of you. Nobody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Like it's a soup and salad situation.
Yeah.
So like you gotta move a little bit. You're not sitting there just.
Yeah. I feel like Donald wouldn't let me talk a lot. I feel like he would dominate the conversation. The Rock, I feel like, is more shallow than. Just don't think there's a lot there.
He's a meat suit.
He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's ripped. I'm jealous. But I don't know that intellectually stimulating conversation is going to come from him.
Are you calling him dumb?
I'm not saying he's dumb,
Oh.
but his name is The Rock. So, you know what I'm saying?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Now, speaking of dumb, Joe Biden is my third option.
Yeah.
I don't know. How's that going to go?
You just have to remind every 30 seconds where he's at.
I'm going to
Yeah.
keep on doing the thing where I'm getting the food off of his lip. You know what I mean? Like, no, Joe, we're going to
Talk about the
pat
arm
it off.
hair
It's
floating
soup
in the
and
water.
salad, and he keeps on eating the soup. Like my ice cream keeps melting.
Yeah, he's trying to eat this, and he's trying to eat it with a fork. You know,
Yeah, he's
it's
all
just a whole
confused.
thing. So I guess if those are my options,
Yeah.
I'll sit down with Donald Trump.
So that's the bucket list.
That's it.
Celebrity, swimming with the dolphins, Seven Wonders of the World, and skydiving.
Now let's do the bucket list of Lauer Road Radio guests.
Okay. People that we want on the show.
we want on the show. Like definitely,
Okay.
we
Like,
got to
is this
agree on
doable?
this.
Or is this like
Everybody is
just anybody?
doable, Jason. One day we will have the pick of the litter.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to happen.
The cat's be out.
So sure. So when that happens, who are we going to go for? Because everyone will want to be on our show.
That is true. Okay. And we got to agree.
Yeah, we got to agree for sure.
Well, the George Washington. I mean, the elephant in the room is Joe Rogan.
It'd be hard not to go with Joe Rogan. His
He's-
reach is significant.
He's the king.
But is it because we want him on the show because we think it'll be a great show, or because his reach is so significant that it will help our show?
Well-
because once we've gotten to this point, we can already get whoever we want.
That
You
is
see-
true.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Actually, like Joe Rogan.
I actually don't mind Joe Rogan either. I've listened to him not nearly as much as you have,
Yeah.
but I've listened to him specifically recently since he's off the Spotify only thing because I listen to Apple Podcast app. I've listened to him quite a bit. I like him. I think he's open-minded. I think he's interesting. I think he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of good things to say.
I-
We can say Joe Rogan.
I like the conspiracy stuff, and so like when he does politics or like wrestling,
yeah.
I don't care that much.
Yeah, the MMA stuff, and he does a lot of comedians.
Yeah, and those are fine.
Those can be okay.
But to me, like when he gets into the aliens or the forbidden history,
That's when you're like, come on.
that's like, I love
in.
that.
Okay, we can do Joe Rogan. That's
Okay.
fine.
I like Joe.
Art Bell.
He's dead.
Is he? If anybody was going to fake their death, their death, it would be him.
It could be Art Bell, yeah. I love Art Bell.
I know you do. But nobody knows who Art Bell is. We'll stop talking about him. I mean, Jordan Peterson. I'd love to have him on the show.
Know.
I like Jordan Peterson.
He's aight.
Okay. We don't have to do him. Who else you got?
God, well.
Nate Bargatze.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld. Now, Jerry,
Well,
he's cranky. That's Jerry's problem. But,
I like Cranky.
Yeah, I don't think he'd love us.
Well, if we're this big, if we could
that's
pick,
true. That's true.
If we
have
Jerry.
a pick of the litter. Okay, I'm gonna take Jerry. I want
Okay.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I think he'd like us.
Sure. If you say so. Are we gonna say Nate Bargatze? I love Nate.
Are we going to skip him for Jerry?
I feel like we're going to take him instead of Jerry. And I think he would understand. We're going to take Jerry instead of him. He gets it.
He agrees.
He gets it.
So who we got? Jerry, Joe Rogan. Gosh, I don't even know. Like, this is actually harder than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's a tough one. We can quit.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Actually, don't even.
What's Giblet's next question?
Let's do Giblets and Roseanne Barr.
Our other listener, Roseanne Barr. There it is.
There
Okay.
it is. Okay. I would I would like to do the podcast circuit. I would like to have all the guys.
Come on, I'd love that.
Tim Pool and
Bill
Ben Shapiro
Burr,
and
anybody who's got a podcast that's
yeah,
popular.
everybody.
Did you say you had two questions?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The other one was. This is another Giblets. If you were paid to design a new musical instrument, what would you create and what would it sound like?
You know, I was just talking to Levi about the fact that, Benjamin Franklin invented an instrument called the harmonica. They look like glass bowls that were like lined up.
Made up.
Well, he did make it up. And there were glass bowls that were kind of like stacked kind of sideways on each other.
Yeah.
And you would with a like a pedal, those would spin, and then you would have like a reservoir of water underneath, and you'd put your fingers in the water, and then you touch the glass, and then the glass would resonate, like when you do that with the glass, and it would make notes.
Huh.
And he created this. I mean, like Mozart composed for it. It was kind of a big deal. Benjamin Franklin. Did you see?
It didn't go anywhere.
They're still making them. I found one online. There's a company that makes them online. It was about $8,000 to buy one. They're making an Apple TV either show or movie about Benjamin Franklin. Which, first of all, it's Apple TV. Come on. I mean, they're trying to, who knows what they're trying to do.
What are they trying to do,
They
Dan?
got an angle.
What's the angle?
The angle is, it's about slavery, and it's about the fact that he was a womanizer. And
he was a womanizer.
He was a womanizer. And they're really going to play up his kind of like anti-Christian bias, that sort of thing.
Whatever.
They've got an angle. But what I would still want to be interested in it, and I might watch it. But Michael Douglas is playing Benjamin Franklin. I watched the preview. It's horrible. It's like you're Ant-Man's dad. You're not Benjamin Franklin.
You know what I would like
he's
to see?
Horrible. Like I hear him talking like, oh, it's not. Plus he's too skinny. Benjamin Franklin is portly.
Oh, yeah.
I hated it. The preview was revolting to me.
So it's
I won't
a turn
watch
off.
it. It's a total turn off. Michael Douglas as Benjamin Franklin. This moviegoer says no, thank you.
What if this is what they should do for real?
Okay.
Is you line up a movie. You've got
line it up.
You've got all of your actors, all of your camera guys, your production team, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make two movies at the same time because you've got everybody there.
Everybody's there. The set's there.
You're just
the script is
popping
already
in
done.
an extra SD card. That's all
yeah.
you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're doing is you're going to make two versions of every movie, a conservative version and a liberal version. And we're going to put them in theaters together.
Can we just make one that's just...
No.
Okay.
No, this is what we're going to do. We're going
I
to
feel like
two.
the John Adams HBO series with Paul Giamatti. Did you watch that?
No.
That's very good.
I'm sure it is.
And I feel like that was even-handed.
No, I want the conservative version and the
I
liberal
don't want the
version.
conservative
I do.
version.
I want it slanted in our direction.
Okay. What are we talking about? What was his question?
I think we're on to something else.
Instrument. He wanted to know if we create an
yeah.
instrument. And there it is. Benjamin Franklin already did it. I'm a big fan of Benjamin Franklin.
Okay, so
One of our best founding fathers.
yeah, uh-huh.
Of all of the founding
How
fathers.
many founding fathers can you name?
Well, okay. Do you want to do this?
John Hancock.
John Hancock was right there.
Yeah.
I mean, can't
Come on.
deny it.
Yeah.
Signature.
Yeah.
Herbie Hancock. Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, yeah?
John Adams.
Yeah.
Samuel Adams.
John Quincy Adams.
No, he wasn't around yet. George Washington.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the whole list. Benedict Arnold until he wasn't.
Thomas Jefferson?
I already said him.
Uh-huh.
Good job. James Madison.
Davy Crockett.
James Madison was there. Oh, Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
There it is. This is a pretty good list.
Was Davy Crockett there?
No. No, he was not there, Jason. Was not there. Yeah.
Davy Crockett.
Did we miss any glaring people?
John Jay.
I was going to say John Jay, but he didn't show up till a little bit
Jingleheimer
later.
Schmidt?
He was kind of a Johnny come lately.
Yeah, that's the only one you missed.
And his name was John. John, yeah. I actually was going to say John Jay, and then I edited myself. I said, no, he showed up a little too late to be a founding father. He's like, showed up after the war. He's like, are we good? Is this done?
He found that they found
Did
it.
we do this?
Yeah.
Is this, am I going to get shot now? Or are we good? Because I'll join now.
Am I wearing a red coat? Which coat am I wearing?
He had two, and he was,
It's a reversible.
he's like, hello, governor, or not? Or what are we doing? Which accent should I affect? I don't got a lot of respect for John Jay.
Do you think that's when the accent actually happened? They all spoke British.
Yeah, everyone
And then when they
spoke
said Declaration
British.
of Independence, part of it is we're not going to talk in that dumb accent anymore.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk American.
Like, crikey, we still got to talk like this? And they're like, no, we don't have, we can just talk normal now.
We choose not to.
And you're like, oh,
Thank God.
Thank God. It's just been a lot of work to talk like this.
If I
now.
had to say words like that ever again, I would blow my brains
So
out.
glad I can just talk normal now. That's what they all said.
Also, part of the declaration is they all got their teeth cleaned.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, to fight the British stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you had to get the good picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
And they stopped drinking tea and they started drinking coffee.
Yeah.
They do say that's one of the reasons coffee is so popular in America was because of the Boston Tea Party. And we're like, you know what? We don't need your tea. We got coffee and it's better. So, and it is.
now we talk better.
We talk better.
Our drink is better.
Mm-hmm.
And we got more land.
Yeah.
Look at all this land.
Mm-hmm. That's true. We got a lot of land.
More than Britain.
Mm-hmm. They have more tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
And they have more fried fish.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
And they have more of a need for dentists. We have more dentists. So, yeah.
Okay. I saw you at Panera the other day, and I ran
did.
this by you there,
Okay.
and we
Don't
started
remember.
talking about it.
Don't remember seeing you. Don't remember you talking to me. So I don't know.
I was flipping through the old TV,
The old boob tube.
the old boob
Is
tube.
what did our grandpa used to call it?
The idiot box.
Idiot box.
Yeah. Shut off that idiot box.
He liked TV, by the way. Like he watched a pretty good amount of it. So
In fact, I don't ever remember the TV being off.
it was on quite a bit.
Except that maybe the stuff we watched was idiotic.
Maybe
He's like, that's an idiot
he
box.
liked Unsolved Mysteries.
I loved it. I still love Unsolved Mysteries.
I don't. Freaks me out. I wish they would make a show called Solved Mysteries.
That guy stabbed him. Solved mystery.
They're not even solved mysteries. They would be like solved conclusions.
Things that were once mysteries.
Mysteries no longer. That's
Wow.
what I would want.
Yeah.
Unsolved mysteries? No, thank you. I don't need a cliffhanger.
I only like Unsolved Mysteries.
How can I go to bed? I'm like, every night, I'll be like, if they could only solve it.
My memory is so bad. I could watch the same one like 10 times. I'm like, man, I wonder when they're going to find out who killed that girl.
It's like watching 600-Pound Life because you know at the end they're not, like, there's
Yeah.
nothing's going to happen.
No.
There's no resolution at all.
So I was flipping through the old TV,
As you do.
as you do, and I haven't watched it yet, but I want to, Cocaine Bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking of all the animals that could be coked up, which animal would be the most terrifying? Because listen, a bear is pretty terrifying on cocaine.
On land, in water, it's a shark, obviously, right?
I don't know.
Maybe an alligator.
Maybe an alligator.
Alligator would be
Because they can kind of chase you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a shark, if you get out of the water, you're pretty much good.
I think
maybe
alligator
it could
would be
jump.
more terrifying.
Yeah.
But maybe alligator.
A coked up alligator?
Maybe a coked up hippo, though.
Oh.
Devastating, yeah. Hippos are horrible as is.
I'm just going to assume coked up means you're more violent. Is that what we're saying?
I just think well, according to Cocaine Bear.
Which is a true story, by the way.
We know that if a bear gets cocaine,
it goes nuts.
it goes nuts.
It goes bonkers.
So I'm assuming all animals are like that.
So under the assumption that cocaine, which as a show, we don't take a lot of stances as a show.
No.
We're very in the gray, you know.
Yeah.
But
Non-committal.
as a show,
Yeah.
we think it's a bad idea to take cocaine.
For animals.
We think it's a bad idea for anyone to take it or sell it
Yeah.
or distribute it in any way. We're anti-cocaine. Can we say that as a show?
As a show, yeah. As
Yeah.
individuals, let's hold our own.
Well, listen, it's a free country.
Yeah. I'll
So-
think what I want.
States' rights.
You can't tell me what to think.
You can't tell you. How dare you? My grandfather's died.
Is there anybody that thinks in British but speaks in English? American?
Yeah.
Or vice versa? You
No.
think normal, but
No. My answer is gorilla. Silverback gorilla.
silverback gorilla would be terrifying.
That's the most terrifying to me.
A huge elephant, a
That's
bull.
that's terrifying.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
There's a lot of answers that are terrifying. You know,
I think all those
a Komodo dragon. Yeah, that's terrifying.
I think a polar bear
Just
would be terrifying.
Polar bear. Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
vicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bloodshot eyes.
What would be the
just-
funniest animal on cocaine?
Oh, this is a good
Pigeon.
one.
Pigeon?
Pigeon?
Pigeon.
No, my thought was penguin.
Penguin. Yeah, that's it. Can't do much to you. Maybe a
Just
sloth. A
flapping.
sloth would be like.
He's like normal speed.
He's like, wow, this is amazing. Maybe a sloth or a koala bear.
Oh, koala would be great. No, it'd be terrifying. I mean, what's the gremlins?
Maybe I don't know. But my answer, as far as terrifying, is, and it goes without. I'm
Silverback
terrified
gorilla.
of silverback gorillas anyway.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I think I've talked about this. Have you seen that video where there's like, they're like filming them in the wild and they're awfully close to them, and there's one of the guys who's like a cameraman. And the silverback gorilla just like reaches forward and like grabs his leg and just like pulls him and just turns around and the guy's just like staying, because apparently they're probably coached. Don't fight it.
Yeah.
And the guy just grabs his leg and just walks away. And the guy's holding the camera like, it's terrifying. And the gorilla is afraid of nothing. He is so confident.
He's king of the jungle.
Silverback gorillas terrify me more than anything. So for me, that would be
ultra strong,
they're insanely
Stupid
strong. Yeah, and fast. It's just crazy.
mobile.
All of those things.
Yeah.
They're like Chris Farley, who ironically was on cocaine quite a bit.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Okay, so are we done with that?
Yep.
Okay. I got some other things. Okay, what is something that you do that your wife hates, but you do it anyways?
How much time you got? Something I do.
Because I caught myself doing something the other day, and I know my wife hates it. I know she does. I know this. Except, I'm still going to do it.
Okay, I've got my answer. What's yours?
Mine is the bread and the twisty tie. I never use a twisty tie.
No.
I do the old spin and tuck.
I don't. I spin and then I wrap it over.
Yeah, that's just as
That's
good.
how I do it.
I like spin and then tuck it under, and the weight of the bread on, it's not going anywhere.
I saw somebody post like a picture of like one of those bread plastic tab things, you know, and they said the picture was like, if you know what this is, that means you're old. And somebody was like, do you think people are eating bread online now? Like those things still exist. Everybody's still eating bread and they know what that is.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
you're not special. So that's the bread thing. That's the thing.
Well,
that
I
annoys
still
her.
do it, but it's like, first of all, bread in our house, a loaf of bread is going to be gone in a day and a half. I mean, we're talking 48 hours max.
Yeah.
So a spin and a tuck, I think, is fine for 48 hours. If we're trying to preserve the bread, if it was just the two of us,
Sure.
I would still spin and tuck because I think it's just as good
It is just as good.
as the old twisty tie.
I don't like the twisty tie.
I dislike
Throw
it.
that thing away.
Mine ends up on the ground, maybe under the counter.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
That checks out. Okay, the thing that I do that annoys my wife is chew.
She's wanted you dead for years.
She does. She just. I'm like, I
Would
don't
you stop chewing and die already?
listen. My mouth is shut. I'm not like I would get it if I was like, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah,
But I was like, my mouth. What do you want from me? And
Maybe
she was
it's
like,
the faces you're making.
she's like, could you just? I can't even hear the show because of your chewing. And I was like,
so it's a noise issue.
it's a noise thing. She doesn't
Okay.
like the noise of my chewing.
Okay.
It's
with
not-
your mouth closed.
Yeah, my mouth is closed. I'm like, what else could I do? She's like, just, I don't know why it has to be that loud. I was like, I got nothing for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to go in the other room? No, I don't want you to go in the other room. Just hurry up and eat it. I'm like, she's like, you eat too fast. I'm like,
Is it pork rinds? What are you
no,
eating?
it's usually kettle chips.
Those
I
are loud.
love kettle chips.
Kettle chips are loud.
I love kettle chips.
Who doesn't?
Couch is pretty good.
So mine would be chew. She's not a fan of me chewing.
Okay.
Even when it's like, it doesn't even have to be that. It could be anything. I could be eating a hamburger, and she's like, it just sounds disgusting. I don't.
Put in your AirPods.
I don't know what you want from me.
Put in the.
Do you want me to leave? No, I don't want you to leave. Why are you that loud? I'm like, ooh.
I would just
So,
progressively get
I'm
louder
abused.
every time.
What?
I would just progressively get louder.
I
every
don't know
time.
how to get quieter or louder.
You're
like
just
I
chewing.
couldn't.
You're just doing.
I wouldn't know how to.
I'm just doing the chew.
I'm just
That's all I'm doing.
the chew. Yes.
Start chewing this.
Maybe she'd prefer that.
Probably.
I mean, I don't chew tobacco. She'd hate that, obviously.
Yeah.
Get a little kettle or a little
Yeah.
whatever
Spittoon.
spittoon. You know, chewing of all the things. There are some things that appeal to me. Smoking a pipe, smoking a cigar.
Done.
Those things appeal to me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't do them, but I get the appeal.
Yeah.
You know,
That's pretty
like
great.
every time I watch Blue Bloods
Yeah.
and Tom Selleck, someone comes over and he goes over to his like whiskey
Yeah.
cart
Yeah.
and he pours what do they call it? A finger of whiskey or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I don't drink, but like I get the appeal anyway. Like
Yeah.
I understand
I
it.
do all that stuff and it's great.
I never understood chew. That does not appeal to me
Listen.
at all. It looks disgusting.
Red Man long cut in the pouch.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't get it.
Listen,
I don't
the
get it.
flavor, the texture,
The flavor,
the experience.
texture, the experience.
Oh.
Are they a sponsor?
Yes.
Is Redman? They still exist. That's a
Yeah.
pretty racist name.
Well, I mean, I think the people at Chew are probably also racist.
You think so? You think the overlap? What do you think is the least racist food that people consume? Like
The people who consume this food are the least racist.
right? Exactly.
Well, that's a tricky one because I think a lot of people say they're not racist, but they are.
I
So
agree.
Are we saying self-proclaimed?
No,
Because
just-
a lot of racists also. know
Oh,
that
I hear
they're
what you're
racist.
saying. I hear what you're saying. This is a tricky issue, isn't it?
It is a tricky issue.
But the answer either
You
way
would
is
say
lobster.
whatever-
No matter what way you cut it, right?
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot of ways to divvy it up, but at the end of the day, lobster makes its way to the top.
Second place is probably red velvet cake,
Uh-huh.
but lobster's definitely first.
And it's self-evident. It's just like
Yeah.
our old friend Tommy J said once when you wrote it down in the D of I. That's what I call the Declaration of Independence. Thomas
Yeah,
Jefferson.
no, I follow.
He wrote that it's. He said we hold these truths to be self-evident,
Yeah,
and this is self-evident. But
Yeah.
you know, he didn't come up with that line. Did you know that, Jason?
yeah, it's in the Bible.
No.
Oh,
He wrote, "We hold these truths to be sacred and like holy, or something like
and
that."
that's in the Bible.
Well, those words are in the Bible.
Yeah,
But then,
individually those words, just not collectively.
exactly.
Okay.
He said, "We hold these truths to be sacred and holy." And then after he wrote the Declaration of Independence, the D of I, as I call it, that's just a way to shorten it so I don't have to talk so much. After he wrote the D of I, he,
You know, just things like that.
I just got some stuff like that.
Not, you know,
like
occasionally I
Yeah.
go down that road. I meditate on it day and night so that I can reserve my words
yes,
by
I
using acronyms.
I have a theory that your lifespan is not made up of minutes,
Heartbeats.
but it's made up of words.
Yeah.
And so if I can shorten my words, then
Yeah.
I'll live longer.
So you just decided to do a podcast.
You know what? You only live once. So,
YOLO!
so Tommy J wrote the D of I,
Yeah.
and he said
Which stands for what?
the Declaration of Independence. but I say that so I don't have to say so many words.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why
I
do
got
that.
it. Yeah. DEI.
So no, D of I.
Oh.
There's no E. It's the D of I.
DEI is something else.
That is the
Diversity,
Defense.
inclusion, executive.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's where they have to hire
Is that
black people.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Is that what you always tell me? I DEI'd myself?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what that means.
Anyway,
I got a little bit of sinus stuff going on.
it happens.
Do you hear that?
No. So Tommy J wrote the D of I, and after he wrote it, he said, "You know what? I'm going to run this by Benji and Johnny," and so he sent it over to Benjamin Franklin and John Adams, and John Adams looked at it and said, "You know, so why are you writing me? Get thee hence." He was really crabby guy, so he wasn't interested. But Benji took a look at it, and he's like, "You see this line, sacred?" He's like, "It's a little churchy for me. Let's do self-evident." And Tommy J was like, "You think so?" And Benji was like, "You know it." And then they did the world's first fist bump. That's where it was invented.
But then, Tommy J had a ring on, and Ben's like, "God, we gotta do it without the rings."
And because the first time they did it with the rings, and because they had been rubbing their feet on the carpet, there was a shock.
Yeah.
And then Benji was like, "Wait a minute. Did I just invent electricity?" And Tommy J was like, "I think you did just invent electricity." And then that's what inspired Elon Musk to create the Tesla.
Yeah, that's true.
Most people don't know that. But I'm a history buff. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm a history buff.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about?
Cocaine bear?
Yeah, it's a silverback gorilla is what it is.
Okay, I have some would you rathers.
The older I get, the more I appreciate something.
We also have a
got to
Netflix
do
to
the
do.
Netflix. The older I get, the more
Are we doing Netflix now, or are we doing the thing?
Okay, we can do the Netflix suggestion now. We'll just put a pin in that. What I said was,
when I get older,
you can play the Netflix suggestion honestly whenever you want. The older I get, the more I
pin it.
That's what they call a Sylvester Stallone in the business.
Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Or maybe Amazon
Jason.
Prime or something like that, like YouTube.
What's your Netflix suggestion of the week? I see what you wrote down.
I just changed it. It was this.
Okay.
And then I changed it to that.
Good decision. I don't know. I'm not seeing. I saw a preview for that, and I was like, "What is that?"
Well, I just remembered I just watched it.
Okay.
And I was going to use that because I've been watching that almost exclusively.
Lucky is a family guy.
I was going to save it for next week.
Oh, sorry.
But listen, I've been watching a lot of Family Guy. It's on Hulu and Discovery Plus.
The shorts. I don't watch Family Guy, but some of the shorts that I've seen, the race is the best.
Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
I'm saying,
What guys go? I'm feeling pretty good. I had a Cliff Bar earlier. What guys go? And he goes, oh, I thought they were coming for us. I mean, that is like, oh my goodness. That is a perfect.
Listen.
That is a perfect thing.
So I've
also, look up, speaking of racial things that are funny, I saw there are two things that you should Google or YouTube search. First of all, the Key and Peele slave sketch. Have you seen this?
No.
It is.
it's so good.
It is genius. So it's Key and Peele standing up on the slave block, and there's like lot A, B, and C, and they are lot B and C. And then they're like, man, I don't know about this. I'm not about to get sold. Like, I don't want to get sold. I'm nobody's property. They better know if they buy me, I'm gonna blow the joint up right away. And so they go, all right, who do we want? And the guy's like, lot A, $5, $4, and they're like, it's like, man, I'm glad they didn't buy me, and the next guy gets up and he's this big guy. He's like, well, I get it, man. He's like big. And the next guy's like super old, skinny, and they keep on bidding on the other guys. And now they're getting upset. They're like, I don't see what's the, it's really like deeply, weirdly, very funny.
Yeah.
So that's very funny.
Okay.
And then Dave Chappelle's got a skit. It's the racial draft of 2004. Oh my gosh. Bill Burr is in it. It's a draft. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
It could never happen today. It's the different races drafting people that belong in both sides.
Okay.
Like the first pick of the draft, the black people took Tiger Woods, and all the Asian people were very upset about it. It's so funny. It is so, and just completely politically incorrect.
Yeah.
On every level.
Well,
it could never fly today, and it is a perfect skit.
I started Family Guy in the middle. I'm like season 8, 9, 10 is where I'm watching. And it is very, very funny. And they were touching on stuff like 15 years in advance.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I see that it's funny.
And it's funny.
I've not gotten into it.
I would not want Teddy to watch.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know what.
Has Teddy gotten
age.
into The Simpsons at all?
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with Teddy watching Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Family Guy's more extreme than
Family Guy
Simpsons.
crosses some lines that The Simpsons even won't cross. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. What's your Netflix suggestion?
No, I'll make it Family Guy. I'll save that for next week.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk about it.
No, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to let the people know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Was it good?
I liked it.
You did?
Yeah.
Sci-fi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Okay.
Family Guy.
I'll bet you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll have to turn it next week.
Oh,
It's
another Stallone. All right. My Netflix suggestion of the week is found on BritBox. Here's the thing.
Yeah. Did you get it?
I got the 7-day free trial.
And you let it
That was
expire.
about 10 days ago. So
Erica doesn't know.
Shut up. She's upstairs. So I'm thank God I'm not chewing. I now I'm like, well, all right, listen, if we're paying for this, let's get our money's worth.
Yeah.
Let's find out what's going
You
on.
have 30 days.
So Hercule Poirot.
Huh?
Poirot.
Is that French?
He's a detective.
Uh-huh.
It's another Agatha Christie series.
Ah.
He is like her Sherlock, basically.
Okay.
You know, Hercule Poirot is his name. He's Belgian.
Hercule Poirot.
Hercule Poirot.
Hercule Poirot.
Hercule Poirot.
Hercule
It's hard to say his
Poirot.
name. I've spent a lot of time. Every time I watch the show, I like listen Poirot. Because it's spelled Pirot.
That's Poirot.
It's Poirot is how we would say it.
Poirot.
But they say Poirot.
Hey, Poirot.
Anyway, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's the first season is like 90, 89, something like that.
Yeah.
There's 8 seasons, but the last seasons are like 2014. So sometimes they'll take like a 4 or 5 year break, and then they jumped in and did another season randomly.
I think Shelby's seen it.
Starring David Suchet, who I like a lot. So anyway, it's called Poirot, and it's great. If you like that sort of thing.
It's got to be on BritBox.
That's the only way to watch it. It's on BritBox. So
It's $5.99 add-on on your Amazon Prime account, right?
something like that. Yeah.
So
I don't know. It'll just,
that's what we did for MGM, MGM Plus, to
Yeah.
watch. What's the Stella? I think you're watching. From? Is that where they go? Town. They can't escape the town. So we signed up to do that. Season 1.
MGM, not much there.
That's the problem. We're still paying for it. It's been a year.
How much do they charge?
Like $4.99 a month.
That's about $4 too much.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing else to watch on it.
Yeah.
But it's on Amazon.
All right.
Would you rather?
Oh, you
Do
want
you
to
have more
this?
stuff? What do you want to do your thing? Oh, what was the
When I
thing we
did the
picked?
cliffhanger thing.
Yeah. What was it?
The older I get,
Yeah.
the more I appreciate.
Yeah.
Do you have a way you would end that sentence?
For myself or for you?
For yourself.
Oh.
The older I get. Oh, wait a minute. Do you have a Netflix suggestion? Sorry, Preston.
I haven't been watching it a whole lot. I've just been doing a lot of editing and show prepping.
Yeah, we got to talk about his podcast
Well,
too.
use that for your suggestion.
Yeah, just my
Okay,
podcast.
What's your podcast called?
Simply Geek.
Is that a playoff of Simply Chic?
No,
Okay.
But it could be.
it could be. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely could be.
Is it a playoff of something, or you just?
No, just-
it's just Simply Geek.
I was gonna do Geek Squad, but I can't do that because
no, don't do Geek Squad.
yeah, because
Simply
Best
Geek
Buy
is pretty good.
pretty
I like
thing.
Simply. What's that? The orange juice? Isn't that a brand of orange juice?
It is. Yeah, it's just called Simply. Yeah.
Simply. I
Yeah.
like that brand. So, what do you talk about on the show?
Oh, we talk about some like video games, and we talk about some like modern movies, shows, stuff like that.
Okay.
Like reviews?
Kind of. We just talk about like, our opinions about things. A lot.
Nerdy things.
Yeah, a lot of nerdy things.
Okay.
Yeah,
And And you do this from your abode.
Yep.
Okay. Do you do it in your Geek shed thing?
Yeah, do it
Okay.
in my old office there, yeah.
He's got a great setup over there. He really does.
Yeah. That's a good time.
So it's called Simply Geek.
Yeah.
Find it on Spotify
And YouTube.
and YouTube.
First episode's out. It actually went up yesterday. We recorded the second episode last night.
Yeah.
We do it live, and then we post later.
Oh.
So there's a live
risky.
show that we do.
How often will this show go live?
Live streaming Wednesdays
Okay.
at 8 p.m.
Yeah. And Ewan is your co-host.
Sure is.
Or you're the co-host.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Okay. All right. All right, there you go. That's Preston Show.
Old people.
The older I get, the more I appreciate.
I'm going to say imagination.
Huh. It's very it's very kind of
C.S. Lewis.
Did you say Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm not like pinning it on him directly.
It's
Lewis-ish.
I see. Yeah,
Lewis.
he has a lot to
That's a
say
C.S.
about
Lewis.
imagination.
Yeah.
So you appreciate imagination.
What's his phrase that he says something along the lines
If I
of,
find in myself
No.
desires nothing in this world can satisfy, then I must only assume that I am not made for this place.
no, that's not what the one I was going to
Okay.
quote.
Roar.
That
was an Aslan quote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That checks out.
The older I
Yeah,
get,
for you, what is it?
the more I appreciate very heavy silverware. You know what I'm talking about.
That is dense.
I
Yeah,
like.
I mean, heavy.
when,
Yeah.
When I pick it, I
Come
like to
on.
like. You know what I mean? Like, I like a heavy piece
Yes.
of silverware.
Yes.
I was
Thick. Dense.
for some reason I found myself in some sort of home store, and they had a whole wall
Yeah.
full of silverware, and so I'm testing them out. I'm putting them in my mouth and whatnot, as you do. And this manager kept on, "Sir, I'm not going to tell you again." I'm like, "Well, do you want me to buy this or not?" They're like, "We really don't.
I'm
really
like, I brought my own peanut butter. He's like, "Sir, please stop putting peanut butter on all of our utensils."
once again." No, so I
He's
was.
like, I brought my own. I'm not using yours.
I don't know what the problem is. So I was looking at the different kinds of silverware, and what I noticed is there's some pretty heavy silverware out there. And then I got home, and my silverware, I got home, and I picked it up. It just
I'm
made
such a
me,
loser.
It made me so.
My silverware is so light.
Because what's the worst silverware? It's plasticware. That's the
Yes.
lightest
The
and the
heavier-
flimsiest.
Listen,
the
a
heavier,
heavy plasticware?
I like that, but Jason, have you ever picked up a crazy heavy fork?
Yeah.
It's so satisfying.
It's delightful.
It's wonderful.
Do you
I
suppose-
assume it's made of real silver, maybe?
First of all, I don't know why we didn't open with this.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
this is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you had heavy silverware, I mean, that's...
I wish. Even I, who live in a loft. Even I.
If you had heavy silverware, do you think you would eat more or less?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you. Just popped up in the old brain.
I feel like I would eat less.
I think I would eat more. I
Really?
want to experience this.
Because I feel like I would get worn out. I'd be like, oh, man, I can't do
I have
this
to
anymore.
switch hands.
With my light silverware that I have, I'm just like, you know what I mean? I don't even know I did it. So I feel like it's also a more satisfying experience. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need it. It's like
Yeah.
a rich piece of cake, you know? I'm good. Heavy silverware is it's I think it's like if you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some people out there, they're like, I don't get it. Heavy
Well, we buy like the 100-pack of forks at Costco.
Sure.
And, they last for a year and a half. Those are pretty light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they come in 100 pack.
Slightly-
Made of aluminum cans.
Uh-huh. They're slightly heavier than plastic. Not
Yeah.
as heavy as the good stuff, but it works.
There's some stuff that's out there, Jason, that's heavier than you think it is. Top shelf silverware.
I think you would want bottom shelf silverware if it was heavy.
Well, you pull
You
your
don't
back.
be reaching off a top shelf with a heavy fork.
You want it
You drop
really,
it, you're dead.
Ideally, you want
it's
it
like lawn darts.
chest to waist level is where you want it. You don't want it
Ideally,
too
but
high.
given the choice, too high or too
Jason,
low,
if
I
a-
want it too low.
Have you ever had a 30-pound fork fall on your head? Yeah. You don't want that to happen.
That's why you want it low.
You want it low?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm not putting it up high.
But I'm going to pull my back, like reaching low, pulling that silverware out.
It's true. Well, ideally, once again, right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
waist
right
level.
here. You want to put it right here. That's where
Some type of mechanism that will go in and out.
Yeah. Like to eat like golden grams with the spoon that weighs 5 pounds. It just sounds like fun to me. You know what I
Now,
mean?
do you want like this the teaspoon type of thing, or do you want the big old like serving spoon, or just a spoon?
I want a spoon that is the perfect size for me. Would be I have to open my mouth pretty wide to get it in, but I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I have to do that. I don't want to have to do that, but I don't want to slide it in. You know. So.
My thing is the spoon that you use to dish out mashed potatoes. That's what I want to eat my cereal with.
Yes. No, that's absolutely checks out.
But heavier.
Yes. All right, that's a show. It's a show. Go to Spotify or YouTube and find Simply Geek, starring Preston and Ewan, and subscribe, comment, rate. He might as well have a popular show if we don't. That's what I say. And that's it.
Yeah.
Go to daffydown.com. Go to the local store and buy some heavy silverware.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. All right, this is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, boo, sit. Good dog.
I have spoken.
Good night, Lauerpedia Kids.
Oh,
Do you want to say something, Preston?
there's not much to say. I mean, we can say goodnight, Lauerpedia
You
Kids.
shout out to someone?
We can give a shout out to. Oh my gosh,
It doesn't
sorry.
matter.
I don't know.
No, you're fine. Shout out to
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon. Yeah, there we
Elon.
go. For
Come on the show.
yeah.
You're on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
Actually, I
yeah.
would like him more than in the others, probably.
yeah. He's the George Washington.
Okay.